Welcome back, everybody. This is Herbie with my Nomadic Dream, and as you can see, La Polsa South is pretty darn empty. So you might be wondering, what are you going to make a video on about Quartzsite with all that craze being done and everyone leaving? Well, I have an answer for you, and that entails throwing Bob into the Herbie Mobile, and we are going to go driving around La Polsa South to actually see how empty it is, because I'm curious. I haven't really had a chance in the past like 3 weeks to actually see all of the difference, but I think this is going to be interesting because there's really not a lot of videos out there that shows what it looks like after the shows. So I'm gonna grab Bob by his favorite spot and throw him into the truck, and we're gonna go for a spin. Come on, Bob, let's get going. You do like that, don't you? You sure do. Get in there. You don't have a broken back anymore. Look at me. What's up with the T-Rex arms, dude? Gotta be safe so you don't break your back again. Be good. All right, Bob is in the truck. So now I'm gonna gently place myself in the truck because I'm not Bob, I'm Herbie, and I'm nice to myself. So on our way to go around. Oh, I gotta start the truck first. I've been in the desert so long that I actually forgot how to drive. So I'm gonna just do one of these things really quick. Whew. I feel like I'm back to myself finally. Whew. Which is always good, but we're gonna go down this really big wash. Yeah. All right, we're gonna bust a right. How's it feel being back in the front seat, Bob? I've missed you, pal. Oh, does your head still hurt from yesterday's surgery? Well, you know, we're nomads. We don't have all that fancy medicine, so I had to resort to medieval times of knocking out a patient with a hammer. But as you can see, like, a lot of rigs have already left, like a mass amount. It is astonishing, actually, because this whole area up here on the left was full of the YJJ group, but they have all recently moved further back in the La Polsa South LTDA area. They're a bunch of really awesome people. Really, really down to earth people. The RVV group, or the RRV group that was camped over by my friends Hope and Mark, they have all left, and I'll actually be showing you that camp spot once I get back over in my area. But yeah, we're gonna go this way though. Change it up, change it up. I haven't been through here in a very long time. Oh, for everybody that is currently watching my channel and follows, I got some exciting news for you guys in March. Can you guess what it is? I'm not gonna say at all what it is or where it is gonna be, but it's gonna be pretty awesome. It's gonna be hard not, you know, telling you, because when I, like, for example, when I buy somebody gifts or something, it just really gets to me, and I'm like, okay, just here, have it, even though it's like 3 months until Christmas. Like, that's just how I am. All right, we're gonna get onto the main stretch here. There is this transit bus van right here that's for sale. There is no price on it, but it has AC units and tool chests on top and a metal rack for some solar. What else? Oh, if you guys haven't known, it has been really hot. There was one day earlier this week where it was like 84 degrees and it was brutal. I know 84 degrees isn't that bad, but when you go from 50s on up and then just out of nowhere you go from mid 60s to 85, like 20-degree change overnight is brutal. Going from having that heat on to no heat and windows and fans and the AC, that is definitely a change. The dumpsters are up here on the left. They have not really been overflowing that much. There's been a couple times where they were kind of full, but not as bad as years prior based on my knowledge of previous years from YouTube. And on the right, we still have a 5-vehicle line for the main dump station. And there's been a line at the water fill stations for a while now on both sides. I don't know if they are still limiting the hours for the water, but I'm gonna assume that they are. You know, it is what it is. You still get water, so there's really nothing to really gripe about because you're still getting what you paid for. Here's my friends from Canada, and we are gonna bust a left up here. Right here. This is where, like, I want to say like the smaller type rigs have been all year, like vans, vehicles, all of that stuff, and it's really not that bad. There is quite a bit more people on this side, which there has been this whole entire season. Like this side filled up way before my side did. So the southern side, or the western side of La Pulsa South, filled up last. Make a right turn here. It does look like there's people outside sitting naked, but this is not the magic circle at all. But I guess people are just wearing really small tank tops and shorts and sunbathing, which I'm pretty tan. Bob's out there just having a good old time. It is just crazy. Like we are back to the numbers of like pre-November. Like during the show, those 2 weeks solid during the show, the week before the show, there was quite a bit of influx, like overnight. Every time that I would come to town and then go to town, come back to my camp, both sides of 95, it was just full of cars and rigs, cars parked on the side of the road for the big tent show. And now it's like pre-season type numbers. And what's crazy is, with it being after the show, this is the first time in the evenings around 4 o'clock until about 9:30 p.m. where my cell service is really bogged down. But prior to the show and during the show, I could not tell. at all. It was after the show left, and now I'm having issues with my cell coverage, which I have like 4 bars, but just the bandwidth is being used up. So I don't know, it's weird. I do have a Starlink, so still haven't turned it on. So this is this area right here. This is completely empty now. The magic circle is further down yonder. That from here still looks like there's quite a bit of people, which kind of makes sense because it's warming up, so obviously people want their stuff to be hanging out when it's warm and not when it's cold. But if you haven't been to the magic circle, don't be trying to take pictures of all the nakies. There's plenty of stuff on the ground to take pictures of. There's a bunch of desert art, rock murals, all of that good stuff. But like this whole area right here was full of rigs. Completely full of rigs. I'm still thinking about if I come out here next year, if I'm going to camp a little bit in the magic circle, just to have that experience. Because why not camp somewhere where people are not going to body shame you? So that's always something to think about. Alright, I'm going to bust a left up here. I'm going to go through the semi-rig area. See how that's going. On the left here was my friend Dale's camp. He's up at Van Aid now. He's a super nice guy. He's helping out all of the van lifers and people that are in need for all of just regular nomad stuff, you know, because not everybody knows or is capable of working on their own rigs when it comes to plumbing or wiring or solar or just building out a rig completely. So he's up there doing that. So I'm really hoping that I see him after the season, before he finally goes home, along with all of my other current friends that are currently out here, because I'm gonna miss them. I really am. Up here on the left is the semi-rig parking area. You can see it a little bit. They have drastically dispersed. It does look like there's a few of them getting ready to pack up even more. So they will be leaving here soon. I'm guessing it's probably due to the heat, which is a huge factor. I'm not quite sure when I'm finally actually leaving the Postal South. I do know that it should be sometime next month. I'm still working on the information and applying for some work camping jobs still. And I'm kind of throwing the idea of, you know, maybe working for a National Forest Service as a volunteer in exchange for a free campsite with free hookups. Because the whole point of doing this lifestyle is to do something different, and that's quite different, if I tell you. Quite a bit different. But, I don't know. Or if I don't volunteer, I might just go to New Mexico and just do the state parks. Kind of like the other people that I know. What Travels with Dottie used to do that. A few of the gals that camp with him, that's what they do. Yeah, a bunch of my other friends too. So, who knows? Ooh, I wonder if I can work for the New Mexico State Parks. But I'd be stuck at one spot. So on the left here is the entrance for the spot, which is like over in this direction there, where those piles of rocks are. Nomadic Fanatics camp is over in that area. Straight ahead here was where a large Class A group was. I think it was the Integras. They were all camped there. There was probably like 50, 55 Class A's there, all the same. So every time that I drove by, it really looked like just another old-fashioned RV dealership that everybody wanted to sleep at and wake up at. Yeah. So the RRV group, the Rainbow RV group, was camped in this whole entire area. They probably had upwards of 90 rigs of all different makes and models. And here is my friends Hope and Mark's old camp. They just left a pile of rocks and remains of their multiple fire pits. Hi guys. But yeah, like this whole area was just nothing but Rainbow RV rigs. And this was their big old fire pit right there. This whole back area was full. Just simply ginormous. Like, it was so condensed here, I could not see anything looking south from my rig. But there's still a few people that I know and trust that's still near my camp, so everything is good there. But we are back at camp. Bob, we're back at camp. Can you believe it? He's still shy. I think he still has a couple broken ribs, but he should be fine. So I'm gonna park the rig. I'm gonna get out. All right, so like I just said, we did make it back to camp. We still have the camp, the Misfits. The other camp is still here, and of course my friends over in the Travels with Dottie area. But yeah, we're still all having a fantastic time. But this is gonna conclude today's video. So this is what it looks like after all the hype is gone. So until next time, later guys, bye.